Hello everyone, welcome to your Grade 12 General Term 3 English Exam Guide. This guide will help you understand what you need to focus on for the end of term exam. We have five key focus areas. The five major things you need to pay attention to are the topics and themes we've studied, the grammar structures you'll be tested on, the vocabulary you need to know, the exact format of the exam, and some study tips to help you prepare. As for the main exam topics, you will read and write about three major themes: environment, animals, and jobs. We have studied several words and vocabulary throughout the term related to environment, animals, and jobs. We've covered multiple topics, including climate change, animals, habitat and extinction, and jobs and social life and long-term and short-term goals regarding jobs at the future. You can expect essay questions and reading texts based on these topics. This term, also grammar is very important. Here are the key grammar areas that you need to focus on. We have cleft sentences, which we use to emphasize a specific point, relative clauses, defining and non-defining, complex comparisons, comparing full ideas, all types of conditionals from zero to mixed, past modals, like using should have and could have. For example, we use cleft sentences to explain and to emphasize a specific point. We have here an example at the bottom. What she loves most is traveling to new countries. Or you can say, what I enjoy most is helping animals. And you can expect these kind of questions in maze, or you might be expected to use them in your own writing, but we do not really have a separate question for grammar in our tests. We only have reading and maze and writing. Next, we have providing that, using providing that as a conjunction in conditional statements. For example, we use complex conjunctions in conditional sentences to allow speakers and writers to express conditions more precisely with greater variety than using if. So we use provided that or providing that instead of if or as long as. For example, we will consider your application provided that you meet all the requirements. Provided that here means just in case or if. The next point we have here is using comparisons, using less and more. We use complex comparisons between clauses like better, more effective, less dangerous to compare two actions, ideas, or situations, not just two nouns. This structure helps you express how one situation or action differs in degree or effect from another. Now, we have here, for example, switching to renewable energy is more effective than relying on temporary fixes. We have here more effective than to compare to situations. Next, here we have the modal verbs. We use would and could. We use them with conditionals, and these are mixed conditionals. We have already covered all types of conditionals throughout the year, from 0 to the third conditionals. We use them to talk about a situation where something did not happen in the past, and we imagine how things would be different now. In this case of conditional, we use it to wish, okay, for wishing or thinking how something might have happened. For example, we have here, if she had gone to bed earlier, she wouldn't be so tired now. Then we have here the use of the past modal should and shouldn't to express regrets, wishes, or disapproval about the past. We have here, for example, I shouldn't have spent so much money on clothes last month, or we should have called ahead to book a table. This shows regret or a wish that something might have gone better if we had done this or that. Next, we have the relative clauses, the defining and non-defining relative clauses. And we use defining and non-defining relative clauses to help give us more details in a sentence. A defining relative clause is important because it tells us exactly which person or thing we are talking about. For example, the book that I read was interesting. A non-defining relative clause gives extra information, which means it's not really necessary in the main idea. It's not really necessary in the sentence. That's why you may find it between two commas. For example, we have here my friend between two commas who lives in London is visiting next week. If we skip who lives in London, if we just take it out of the sentence will have the same meaning and will not affect the meaning of the sentence. If I say my friend is visiting next week, it is completely understandable. We do not need extra information. But here we have the non-defining relative clause to give an extra, not very necessary information for understanding of the sentence itself. Now, as for the functional language, what you need, again, you will most probably use these in your own writing, in the writing part of the exam, or you might have to choose like a word related to this in the maze section. So you would be expected to use real life expressions like these for agreeing, I agree with you because, or making suggestions, why don't you try, or why don't we go for this instead of that, or describing your hopes. And usually we use these, as I said, in your writing, and it might come in the maze section. Now, as for the exam structure and specifications, the exam overview. Your exam is divided into two parts. Part one is writing, okay, writing part, which is 40%. It's 40% of the total mark. And we have the reading, which forms 60% of the rest, includes maze and reading texts. Now, as for the writing part, your exam will have 4 sections in the writing. First question, the opinion question. It will, this is out of 5 marks. Then we have the plan, again, out of 5 marks. The plan is related to the topic that you're going to write about. Then we have the essay, 25 marks, and then you will get a piece of reading, a reading text, and then 2 related questions. Inference questions, 2 mark, and 1 justification question, 3 marks. And the topics will be one of the main topics that we studied this term, again, environment, animals, or jobs. Now here, a more detailed breakdown of the exam. As we said, for the writing task, the first you will have a free response opinion question. This question, there's no right or wrong answer, as long as you answer a comprehensive, full answer, your answer should be counted as correct. And those are 5 marks. Okay, so you should write at least 2 sentences. Do not make it too short and do not make it too long. It's only an opinion about the topic that you're going to write about. Just write a comprehensive response and you should be getting the full mark, inshallah. Now, the second part of the writing, you will have a plan. You will have to create a plan. this is the plan for the main essay that you're going to write about. And then we have the main writing task. You will write a 170-word essay on a familiar topic like environment, jobs, or animals. Now, you need to plan your ideas using bullet points. Okay, it's preferable to put it in an organized way in bullet points. In the plan part, you should not write a full essay. Do not waste your time in the plan section to write a full essay. In the plan, only write bullet points, what you're going to include in your essay, what you're going to write about in the introduction, what you're going to include in the body, and what are you going to include in the conclusion. You should use clear structure with introduction, body, and conclusion, and make sure to use correct grammar and topic vocabulary. Okay, the vocabulary that you studied throughout this term, make sure to use the specific vocabulary related to the topic. And the last part, as we said, it will be a reading text around 300 words, which is like medium length. And you're going to answer 2 questions, inference and justification questions. Inference 2 marks, the justification will be out of 3 marks. Again, you should get your inference from the text, depending on your understanding of the text, and the justification, again, should be with evidence from the text. And please do not copy parts as it is from the text. You should rephrase it in your own words as you understand it. Now, as for the reading section, you will have 2 maze tasks, 2 maze questions. The first part is going to be only 4 gap fill questions, only 4. And in the second one, it's going to be 8. You're supposed to choose the correct word to complete the sentences. Now, as for the part 7, part 8, 9, and 10, you will get 4 reading texts. 4 reading texts. So the reading exam as a total, you will get 2 maze sections and 4 reading sections. 4 separate texts. Each one has a set of questions related to it. The first reading text will have 5 multiple choice questions. The second reading text will have only 3 questions. The third reading text will have 7 multiple choice questions, and the last reading text will have 3 multiple choice questions. So all reading questions will be multiple choice. You will not be asked to write anything in details as for the reading part. And the maze, of course, you know, it's again the multiple choice questions. Now, here is how to prepare for your exam. Review all the key grammar points, especially conditionals and cleft sentences. As I said, this might come in the form of a maze question, or it will show in your writing, when you're writing, like in your writing exam, whether in the opinion or in the justification or the task or the writing task itself. Practice writing full essays with a plan. You have plenty of time. Try to practice to write a full essay about those 3 topics in relation to what you studied this term: environment, animals, or jobs. Prepare your plan in bullet points and start writing your essay so you would have fresh ideas in your mind when it comes to the exam time. You wouldn't get stuck. Read short texts and practice comprehension skills. Use vocabulary from all 3 themes as much as possible in your writing. Now we've come to the end of our guide. Keep calm, stay organized, and give yourself time to revise. Wishing you best of luck, grade 12. This was Ms. Huda Al-Ghazuli from Badal Mutawa School. Thank you so much.